today, the student will understand how to use adjacent angles to write an equation for a missing value. So, new vocabulary word, adjacent. There's quite a bit of vocabulary in topic 10. All right, so vocabulary slide. Bless you. So if I look at this one, it says two angles are adjacent angles if they share a vertex and a side, but have no interior parts in common. Well, that's a lot of what? Okay, so let's see if we can break it down. Do you guys remember what the vocabulary word vertex is? What was that vocabulary word? See? Point where the two rays meet. Yep, that's exactly what a vertex is. So here's the vertex right here. Okay, and then it says share a vertex and a side. Okay, so they're sharing this, and then here they're sharing this side. See, this angle shares that one. So basically, adjacent means next to, right? Like why in math don't they just say the angle that touches the other angle, the angle that's next to the other angle? Okay, so let's look at one that's not adjacent. Okay, so do you see this? Not adjacent, because they are not touching. They're not right next to each other. They don't share this. See, this one shares this ray right here. This one goes here, and it goes here. They're not sharing. They're not together. Okay, and that makes it not adjacent. All right, so let's see if we can name some adjacent angles. So we're going to do a couple together, and then I'm going to have you do a couple. So here's a place that you would actually see adjacent angles. You've been out to Worlds of Fun, I'm sure, right? And I hate roller coasters, and I rode, what's the, is it Timberwolf?
Oh, God.
I should have died.
That's
the worst out of all.
Is it? Okay, because I thought I was going to die, and I was like, I'm done, I'm not riding any more today.
It's so old.
Okay.
It
hurts.
It was.
Scary. It did hurt. I thought I was going to die. I had my little, 7-year-old, she's sitting next to me, and she's like, ah. And I was like,
My face went forward when I jerked, and I got a bloody.
Okay. So this would be an example, because if you've noticed, it's made out of wood, right? It's got all the crisscrosses everywhere. Those are all angles, and they're done that way for a reason. Okay, so that's what this is talking about. All right, this one says name an angle adjacent to FAD. So let's find FAD. So here, right here is FA. Here would be D. All right, so there's the angle. How did I know that A was the vertex? How did I know that just now? It's in the middle. Whatever letter's in the middle is your vertex. That's how you know. Okay, so there's the angle. Okay, tell me an angle that's adjacent to that. Cassie. BAD. All right, you said BAD. So this one right here. Here's BAD. Agree? Yeah, because it's next to it. It's touching that one. And it's also bad. All right, next one. Name two angles adjacent to BGC. All right, so here is B, here is G, and here is C. All right, so here's the angle I'm talking about right there. Name one. We're supposed to be naming two, so name one that's adjacent. Adjacent means touching. All right. All right, she said BEG. All right, BEG. Let me see if I can find it. All right, so we've got B. You said to E to G. Okay, it has to touch that vertex. It has to share. All right, let's try again. HGE. Okay, so let me try that one. So here is H, here is G, and here is E. So do they share that one? Yes, that one would work. So we're going to write down angle HGE. All right, it tells us to come up with one more. Do we see another one? Griffin?
Actually, I have a question. Why are you doing the pretty much L shape right before?
That stands for angle. That's the symbol for angle. Symbol? BGA? All right, so BGA. All right, so B, and then G, and then Do you guys agree? Does it share?
Yeah.
Shares this one, right? So that would also work. All right, I would like you guys to try the next one completely on your own. You can write at least one. If you can't find both, that's okay. See if you can do that. Letter?
BHG.
BHG. That would be BHG.
It's like it.
Okay, but it didn't share the vertex. This has to be the same. So even though it's touching, it didn't share our H. No, it didn't share our E. That's what we're supposed to be sharing right there. Okay, good question. Anybody else before we start writing equations? All right, let's write some equations. All right. Actually, keep going because I feel like we've covered that pretty well. Let's go to this one. All right, the measure of angle PRS is 80 degrees. What is the value of X? Write an equation to find it. All right, so our angle is PRS. So here is PRS. This is saying it's 80. So this whole thing right here is 80 degrees. How do you think we can write an equation to figure out what X is? Notice that we're moving into the equation world. I realize some of you go, oh, I know what the answer is, but they're going to get harder, so we want to be able to write that equation for it. Jenna.
25 plus X equals 80.
25 plus X equals 80. Does that make sense? There's the basic one-step equation. This angle plus this angle has to be the same as 80 degrees. All right, super easy then. Write our equation and subtract 25. So we get X equals 55. Pretty simple. All right, let's
Wait,
try.
how'd you get 55?
I just subtracted 80 minus 25. All right, let's look at this one. So this one says measure of ABC is 100. So here is ABC. This whole thing here is 100. Woo! 100. How would I write this equation? Okay.
60 plus 32X.
Keep going. You got more?
That equals 100.
Very good. Now, you technically don't have to have the 2x in parentheses. It doesn't hurt if you do, but it's fine if you write it like this also. This is also okay. All right, we are so good at solving two-step equations now, right? Especially when all the values are positive. We can do this super quick. We're very, very good. Subtract our 60. We get 2x equals 40. And then divide both sides by 2. And x equals 20. Okay, some of you probably still could have done this one mentally, but this one gets slightly harder to do mentally. Yes?
Will there be negative?
Okay, that's a really good question. Do you think there is going to be a lot of negatives with this?
No.
Why do you think there might not be as many?
Because you would measure angles and negatives.
Yeah, we don't measure angles and negatives. So I'm not saying it can't happen, but that's going to be like a more abstract thing because you can't have a negative equal. That doesn't make sense. Okay? All right, I think that was my last slide. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.